which is great.
Right.
But sometimes you need an actual colander when you are rinsing off all of your produce or lots of other things. But colanders can be big and cumbersome and take up a lot of space, which is now Meredith has now come to the rescue. This is our 3-in-1 collapsible colander, which is like a cookie sheet. It's so flat when you're not using it, right?
And of course, you can have it stand up by itself too. Set that leg right there. You can have it stand up if you want to. You can have it rest over a sink if that's what you need. And of course, when you go to store it, it collapses flat like this. So that's the only room it takes up. I love that. You put it with your sheet pans, your cookie sheets. And here, Carolyn, is what, you know, the alternative is a big, bulky, you know, this one is the one where you have to have 3 hands. You have to pour your saucepan and hold this, and that's a problem. This one, you know, gets chipped and dented.
And it's not very big.
It's not very big. And this one is just, you know, it's a lot to store. So, yes, this actually saves you some time. So now I can go ahead, open that up, rest that over the sink, and if I want to strain this broccoli, strain pasta, strain everything. And if you think about it, you only need to not have a colander once.
I know. I wish I would have gotten that. So this is less than $20, everybody. This is your $20 bill alert in the show. We have the red one that Meredith is working with. And look at the capacity there.
I know, it's a great capacity. And that's the thing, you do need a big colander because it's a lot easier to strain a little bit in a big colander than to strain a lot in a little colander.
That's so true.
So here we've got that, no problem. And now we can go ahead and just transfer it to wherever we want to. Or look at this, we can actually have it sit up if we want to and have it, you know, drain off whatever excess.
Here, put it right there so they can see. There we go. So it stands up all by itself. Isn't that great?
So, or we want to have, you know, pasta or things like that, or shrimp perhaps. So there we have our colander rested over the sink.
That's the purple one, of course. We also have green and blue and red.
And then with respect to capacity, take a look at this. That's a lot of pasta we had in there, so much that it's still in the pan there.
Well, that's a full-size cast iron pan. So again, it's a great colander. For all the reasons you need it, you'll love it. For all the reasons you don't like a colander, they don't apply because it doesn't take up any space. It doesn't get rusty and chipped. It's nice and flat.
Exactly.
It's easy to clean.
It is easy to clean. It's dishwasher safe if you need it to be. So there you go. So there are all these things that we do with colanders. So this is something that is, did you want to go through colors first?
Could we just pop the camera down and show these colors? So there's the green, the blue, the purple, and the red.
Now the red's the only one that's not two-tone. Red, of course, very popular with our foodies, so we kept that one solid. But the other ones I think are really, really pretty.
I think so
with their two-tone. And then here's something that I do often with colanders. When I make a cucumber salad, I want to keep the cucumber nice and crispy, so you salt it first. And you let it drain, and all that liquid comes down. So here you can actually see the liquid down below is collecting there. And then you would rinse it, put it into your salad, and have a nice crispy.
Good tip.
But look over here too. I wanted to show you this because this is a lot. This is a solid 10 pounds of potatoes. And look at that. It's holding it no problem. The legs can stand up. Now, no reason to put the legs up unless you just want to elevate it. Well, maybe you want to put it in a sink and you have other things in the sink.
I'm thinking too, if you've just gotten a bunch of fresh produce, or maybe you just want to have a couple of these out on the countertops to let the air go through and help with the ripening or whatever.
Well, you can for sure, because when you, I don't know if you've ever seen a berry bowl. When you store berries, they're often perforated. So now you could actually go ahead and
this stands up like a bowl.
Exactly.
Great.
You could rinse your berries, then you could take the legs to your colander and put them upright like this, and then you can have that sitting on the counter wherever you need it to be. Or, you know, maybe it's just got a little excess water in there, it still needs to drain. Go ahead and leave that over a plate.
You know what I'm thinking too, guys, if you have a smaller sink and maybe you've got a sink with a divider in the middle, it's not a big farmhouse sink, maybe these lips don't hit both ends of the sink, stand it just like this in one side of the sink. You don't have to have it attached to the lip of the sink.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this is really a nice versatile piece depending on what kind of sink you have.
Right, and I love the fact that, of course, storing it, no problem. Stores right back down. Here, extends over your sink. You can go ahead and open it, and then we could even do things like shrimp. You know, we have shrimp boiling here. But all these things that we strain in the kitchen, again, if you don't have a colander or a strainer and you're trying to hold that lid on, not always the easiest thing to do. And we're dealing with heat here, so you need to have safety first.
Right.
So make sure you're using the right tools.
So this is silicone. So it doesn't matter how hot of water you pour in there.
Exactly. So it's a mixture of plastic here and silicone here. So yes, no problem with the temperature at all.
Now she's got it extended all the way, which is 16 by 23. When it's standing or the sides are pushed in, it's 16 by 10 3/4. The legs are about 7.5 inches high. So I think this is going to fit in most kitchens circumstances. I mean, what kind of sink or countertop you have.
I would say so, for sure.
I think this is a really superior idea in a colander.
Well, it's great because even if you have, like, if it's not going to, if you have a massive sink and it's not going to fit across, you can go ahead and fix the legs like this and pop that into your
just
sink.
stand it in the sink.
So now it's still elevated. So you know when you pour all that pasta water down and then it comes back into the colander?
Yeah.
Which you don't want,
I know.
right? That's not pleasant. So now when you have this much room underneath that colander, between the bottom of the sink and your colander, you're good to go there. And you won't have any problems.
If you've only got a small colander like this white one, by the way, Frank, how many of these are gone? You know, I sometimes try to use something like this, and then half the hamburger and stuff spills out the top.
It can spill out, and then this is
not big enough.
This is another one where that water, once it's resting in the sink, the water comes back up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just not pleasant.
So this is so much better. So Frank, 1,000 of these are gone. We have red, green, blue, and purple. We have an update for you. The blue, green, and purple, last call on all three, all right? We brought in more red because red is our foodie's favorite, but the rest of them are just about gone. So please stay in the ordering process. A good thing for a $20 bill.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just it's helpful, and then it doesn't going to take up room in your kitchen. And that, to me, makes it a friendly kitchen tool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, I have to go over here, and what do you have coming up?
Well, I'm going to look after this over here. You go do your thing.
Go ahead, boo-boo.
I'll do mine. So here, this is one of my favorite items actually coming up. It's the 7-piece cast iron set. Absolutely beautiful, stunning colors. And the value is not to be missed because honestly, you just don't see value like this very often. I'm going to start off a couple things. I'm going to start off a pot roast, start off some burgers so that we can enjoy all of this when Carolyn comes back. But amazing, amazing value here. This one is the blue that I'm working with. Let's get this hot. The reason we love cast iron is that sizzle right there. We're gonna get the best browning, beautiful texture, and we're gonna do it in style. Back to you, Carolyn.
Cast iron set, that's exciting. Wow, and the colors are beautiful. So that's coming up, but first, it's time for some Lennox.